This is The Download from Sounds Profitable, your daily source for the essential news in the business of podcasting. I'm Gavin Gaddis. Here's what you need to know for today, Tuesday, July 14th. First up, a quick correction for yesterday. In yesterday's issue and episode, I said that Megaphone's ad server transition is slated for Friday, July 17th. This was an error. The correct date for the big switch is this Wednesday, tomorrow, July 15th. On to our top story. First look, iOS 27 public beta. 6 Colors has published a first look at the beta for iOS 27, tvOS 27, and macOS 27. Pod News reports the release brings Apple Podcast Video to the macOS desktop and to Apple TV devices, expanding where viewers can watch Apple's video podcasts ahead of the fall release. 6 Colors' Dan Morin details the marquee addition, a rebuilt Siri powered by large language models. In his testing, it surfaced a specific older podcast episode over CarPlay without being given the exact title. The new Siri is limited to the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max and the iPhone 16 or later. It is unavailable in the European Union. Next up, your back catalog is getting less valuable every day. Writing for New Digital Age, Podstock CEO Michael Paretsky argues podcast publishers should stop treating back catalogs as strategic assets, citing Podstock tracking that shows most podcast downloads happen within the first 30 days of publication. According to the Podcast Index news feed report, AI-generated feeds already outnumber human-made ones in recent periods. Paretsky makes the case that archives should be left to produce incremental yield through dynamic advertising, while publishers direct investment towards new content, creator relationships, and integrated advertising products. Quote, dynamic advertising monetizes attention. Integrated advertising monetizes trust. In a world overflowing with content, trust is the asset that compounds. End quote. Next up, ANA releases Compendium of Inclusive Marketing Case Studies. The Association of National Advertisers has published its first ever Inclusive Marketing Case Study Compendium, collecting 100 award-winning campaigns from brands including Kraft Heinz, McDonald's, Toyota North America, AARP, and Major League Baseball. The case study covers strategy, creative development, media innovation, experiential marketing, partnerships, and measurement, covering audiences including Hispanic, African American, Asian, LGBTQ+ consumers, women, adults 50 and older, people with disabilities, and neurodivergent communities. ANA CEO Bob Leodis writes that inclusive marketing, quote, is not simply about reaching diverse audiences, and, quote, framing it as instead a growth strategy. Yet another brick in the long road of evidence that marketing to diverse audiences pays off. For our final top story, to manage 300,000 creators, Unilever automates everything but the relationship. Unilever has scaled its creator network from 10,000 to 300,000 people across the 190 countries where it sells products, and Digiday reports AI now handles the vetting, brand safety checks, video scanning for product mentions, and briefing paperwork behind it. Humans keep strategy, creative direction, and the relationships. Campaigns that once used 5 to 8 creators now run 25 to 30. Quote, technology is used for us to augment the human choices, end quote. That's from Leandro Barreto, CMO of Unilever Beauty and Wellbeing. The story cites projections of $13.7 billion in influencer marketing spend by 2027, and U.S. ad spend expected to grow 15.7% this year, a picture of how the largest advertisers are building infrastructure to buy creator media at scale. As for the rest of the news, Red Seat Ventures, owner of the hosting platform Speakeasy, is now IAB version 2.2 compliant. Starbucks is piloting TikTok's custom creator network, the first brand to use the feature, sending creative briefs to baristas whose videos earn a revenue share when they run as ads. Spots Now launches an AI-powered search tool for podcast advertising buyers with audience-fit discovery across more than 59,000 active shows and a free discovery tier. The show PodBiz marks 1 year with a special anniversary episode reflecting on where the money is in podcasting, advertising, subscriptions, and branded content. Advertiser Perception's June survey of 300 marketers and agencies put podcast advertising consideration at 75% and spending intention at 74%. Both of them are 12-year highs. And finally, Alan Chicken Chow's show Alan's Universe will stream on Netflix, while also remaining on YouTube, making another instance of a video podcast making the jump to Netflix without exclusivity. That does it for today's issue of The Download. I go through these stories fast, so reminder, there's a link in your show notes that'll take you to today's episode post on soundsprofitable.com, where you can read and click everything I just talked about. You can also subscribe to get the newsletter version sent straight to your inbox every day. Today's issue was written and produced by myself, Tom Webster, Molly DeMillier, and Brian Barletta. For Sounds Profitable, I'm Gavin Gaddis, and I'll see you tomorrow morning for the narrated article.